Hello, everyone. And today I'd like to introduce you to Claudia and Adam. And they are my dear, dear friends from the Purple Eagle tribe. And we wanted to share with you a little bit about our retreat coming up.
Mhm.
And firstly, kind of back up and how we met. We met at a global psychosynthesis summit at Garrison Institute in New York about a year ago today. And so after we met, something beautiful began to unfold. And so I wanted to bring them on to share with us more about this retreat we're putting together. So let's talk about like what inspired the three of us to want to do this beautiful retreat.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mason, first of all, thank you so much for having us and for, giving us this opportunity to get to know your community and the people in your life. And anybody really that's interested in the transformational retreat that we're putting together in Topanga, which we're so excited because it's a very important it's an area that we absolutely is near and dear to our hearts. So we're so excited to be able to come there.
Yeah. Topanga's so special. And it's actually the way that we all said hello to each other up at the Garrison Institute, kind of in this whole very deep dive psychosynthesis summit, global summit, right? And just certain words ring like sound bowls. And it was like, okay, there's something here. Let's
Mm.
talk. And it was immediately like excitement. And then here we are, a year later, seeds have been planted, and we have a month from now our retreat coming up in Topanga. We, like Claudia mentioned, we actually honeymooned over there in that area. It's such a beautiful
Oh my gosh.
piece of the US, a piece of land, energy there. And so it's very exciting for us to be able to be with you there, to bring psychosynthesis there, and to offer this retreat to people who are ready to come and ready to say yes.
Wonderful. I know. And I'm so excited. I didn't know you guys honeymooned here. Oh my gosh. I love it. Or
Yeah.
maybe I did.
Yes, no coincidences, huh?
Yeah.
We're being called
No,
back to that area.
I love it. So, for those of you who may not know, tell us a little bit about the Purple Eagle Tribe and what inspired you guys to create this beautiful community.
You want to
Yeah.
take that on, or you want to go first?
Great question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just backtracking to us coming, we met at the summit and, we're so passionate really about the work of psychosynthesis. So the fact that we have an opportunity to come together to the West Coast, which has really been a dream of ours so much, we're super, super excited for that opportunity. And with regards to Purple Ego Tribe, yeah, so Purple Ego Tribe is our community. It's our coaching brand. It's our retreat. It's really the vehicle that we've come together to share our gifts with the world. So, just a little backstory. Right before we got married in 2019, I could feel a big shift coming, and anybody that knows us just knows our energy. And so there was something very profound that year that we actually got married, and there was something stirred up within me that I wanted to find out, like, what is our collective mission, our path. When we met, each of us had our path, but there was a collective mission that wanted to come through. And, when doing the work and asking the questions, like, what is it? What is it that we're here to do? What is that? What is our mission together? What is our purpose? That's then how Purple Eagle Tribe was actually born.
Hmm. Yeah, one of the things that we love to do is to work with couples, and not only couples, but also individuals that are like aligning with a purpose and something greater than, like trinities is what I should say. So Claudia doing her work for all the years up until we met, and myself had our own individual journeys that we were on. And those journeys culminated in a lot of different similarities meeting each other. So there was alternative healing similarities, there was yogic path similarities, and teacher training on an ashram here in Florida, where we're located. And then there was also the psychosynthesis work, and then there's School of Mysteries work, and all of these
Wow.
things culminating. So like the two of us were on our own individual journeys, and it was what wants to birth if when we bring our energies together with the divine, what wants to birth, and even the inspiration of what the symbols of purple, eagle, and tribe, and not to culturally appropriate or anything like that. On our website, we have a little blip of to what tribe means to us, but the symbolisms of these individual symbols, and also they are the logo itself. If once everybody checks in on that, it's like this birthing, this divine purpose that came through, and like Claudia mentioned, it's a vehicle. It's a vehicle to bring together so many different modalities into an offering that can be communicated.
Yes, and if I can add, we both have a background in personal development, also a background in, spirituality, in just the way we live life with different traditions that we've been initiated into, psychology, right? So it really, it's our vehicle that brings all of the gifts that we can to support humanity in, helping others find ease, peace,
Yes.
freedom.
Joy.
Exactly.
Who
I
we
love
are.
it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love it so much. And then, so, through all your years of work, because you've been doing these retreats for quite some time,
Mm.
right? So you developed a framework called the Alchemy of Self.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's rooted in the principles of psychosynthesis. Can you share a little bit more about how long you've been doing them and this framework around, alchemy of self?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really the retreat aspect of things started right around 2020. That's not to say that there wasn't other work where we were attending a lot of retreats prior to that, but our own retreats we started in 2020. And it's been a regular rhythm from then all the way till now. Some of these retreats have been in Peru 2 different times, Sedona, Kansas City, different places around like Georgia, the forest of Georgia. Here in Florida, we hold retreats actually at our property. So this is something that it's an opportunity to, with like the alchemy of self being the framework around it in the retreats, like that's when it started. But the alchemy of self started to give us more of a framework and a step by step, easy to understand uh, concepts and embodiment. Like somebody who comes to the retreat will actually be able to experientially have an offering of what psychosynthesis is, but in a personal practice, not so much in a practice of like, oh, I want to be a psychosynthesis coach, so let me sign up with Adam and Claudia to do my accreditation. That's not what it's about. It's an inner journey with a group of people to be able to find real-time tools and give ourselves the time that it takes to walk through those I think it's a 13-month program to be able to embody and practice in a community, which is much larger than the actual alchemy of self groups themselves because they're plugging into an overall community. And the alchemy of self is really in its name, kind of explains what it is. So it's like creating the true I, the true capital S self, emerging from all of the noise and all the different parts of ourselves and all of the things that are going on in the collective and the changes that happen in life to allow to emerge this true version of ourselves, which is the alchemy of self.
Yeah, but many means psychosynthesis, as you know, we're passionate about that profound framework, and we wanted to make the principles of psychosynthesis accessible and also experiential. And so we designed the journey to really give an opportunity for each individual who goes on the journey to go deeper into their own psyche, into their own selves. We've also integrated some aspects that we've added from our teachings to the program as well. And, the idea is, for me, my understanding is that as above, so below, as within, so without. So the world that we're experiencing out there is a reflection of our inner world, right? It's an inner game. And so, but how do you do the inner work, right? How do you go and actually go within the parts of yourself? How do you bring that peace and harmony? Then that's where the alchemy of self comes in to really provide our students and everybody that goes through move them from awareness to understanding to integration to embodiment and then transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I talk about this all the time in the program that we're really going for long lasting transformation. We're not just going for a quick, just one weekend or an insight or just a profound experience and then it ends there. We're going for the long run. We want to make sure that people really have the tools, the container, the time for them to understand and be able to integrate and then eventually embody, as Adam mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah, one last thing there is there's so much talk on Instagram and all the different things. And if you're seeing us on Instagram, hello, around nervous system regulation. And there's a phrase that comes up for me that kind of captures a lot of what happens in a day in the life of, and that's either I'm meeting the day or the day is meeting me. And what I mean by that is like I'm actually equipped and I have the resources through working with a framework like the Alchemy of Self, through going to retreats and filling up my cup so that I'm resourced enough to meet the day, distinct from this overwhelming kind of tidal wave of just here's the day, and then I'm reacting all day long, looking for tools like to regulate my nervous system, going to a salt sauna, putting my feet on the grass, walking barefoot, all these things. Like it's not really working until we have a way to actually become still within ourselves and observe everything that's going on. And really, for me, out of the Alchemy of Self, has been the biggest aha over the last couple of months is meeting the day instead of the day meeting me. And it sounds very simple, but when I've practiced that myself personally, I'm like, wow, there's so much more capacity to grow and to see and to not get triggered in my day in the life of driving, work, boss, husband, wife, all the things from resourcing through the Alchemy of Self.
That's so well said. And I would, you know, I agree wholeheartedly because I went through the program myself and it truly changed my life. I mean, I think it added years to my life, quite honestly. And I concur with what you say, you know, with hearing all about the nervous system buzz around the internet, and truly happiness is an inside job. So you can go and seek these external ulterior modals really, but until you do the actual work, you're quantum leaping really over the gate.
Yes.
So this framework that you guys do and that we both, you know, studied, it truly allows you to walk through that gate and gives you the tangible tools to implement it into daily practice and life, which I love.
Yep.
I mean, it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
so
amazing.
Another quick question: if someone has been like feeling the nudge to step away from, you know, like you said, the busy life, it's almost like we're human doings instead of human beings, right? I heard somebody say that, and that is so true. So what would you impart to them, you know?
I love this question. And one of the reasons I do love this question is many years ago, before psychosynthesis came into our awareness, it was kind of in our awareness, but before we actually started studying and diving in, I went and I sat with this oracle of a person, you know, and we're just having a conversation, sitting on the couch, having tea, I think. And she's like, she goes, tell me about this either or thing, Adam. And I hadn't said anything about what I was there to talk about. And she illuminated to me, which is basically me illuminating to myself through the mirror that she is, that I was looking at life and peace. I was looking at the job that I do and what I really want to do. I want to be on vacation and spend time with family, and I have these responsibilities to keep the ball bouncing. And in that is the conversation of are we stepping away from life? Or are we actually stepping into life? You know, like it's not I'm this and I am that. It's I'm both. And then being able to integrate the inner work of psychosynthesis and yes, maybe there's a time to pause and kind of pull back from the communication and the noise and all the things as a retreat allows to do. There is that aspect. But really it's like looking at something instead of an either or, that then I got to go integrate all this amazingness that we're going to experience in Topanga into my life. What if life is still there and we're integrating it as we're going and we're able to say, if I am a spiritual, whole, amazing, badass individual who has an amazing vision and amazing friends and family, and I have this job thing, what if I brought amazing all that into the job thing? What would that create as a new perspective? And how do people go to Burning Man and these different things and like come away with something of like, oh my God, what if I brought this and development work, which I do, spirituality and development, what would that look like? And it's literally transforming every conversation that I'm personally having in the world just by looking at, we're not
Absolutely.
stepping away from,
Yeah.
we're stepping into.
I would definitely, yeah, and just to add to that, if you are feeling a nudge that, trust it. Trust the nudge, trust that
Trust the tingle.
intuition to step into a container, into a retreat. Give yourself the time, right? Give yourself the opportunity to just take a break and be able to go and, experience a profound weekend is what participants say time and time again. So give yourself that gift. If you are feeling there's any part of you that is curious and is leaning into it, please join us.
Yeah. We
Yep,
can say
there's
with
an
full
invitation.
confidence that every single retreat we've ever done at the circle, when we close and integrate, first of all, there's lifelong relationships that get grown. So anybody who's looking for community aspect, and also to know that we're not like in it all alone, that there's other people that are having these same conversations and maybe like, hey, I really just need some time for me. And
Yeah.
when we say, oh my God, I want to take this time for me, what comes up? Is there guilt? Is there like, oh, but I don't have the time and all the circumstances are there? Like, this is, if there's that nudge, like, this is the best place to put our time and energy for me, for our resources, because coming out the other side, as I was saying previously, like the profound like filling up of Claudia and I just to see other people when they walked in and when they're leaving on Sunday, it's just like, oh my God. And then
It's such a
we're
gift.
staying in a relationship with everybody we sit with.
Yeah.
And I love that. And that's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I know. And the difference is that, California, in my opinion, has never experienced a retreat like this.
Mm.
And because there's, as we know, psychosynthesis is wildly popular in Europe, not so much here yet. So we're bringing
Yeah.
all the magic.
Yes.
And what I like about it is that it's tangible tools, and one of the things I say, because I do journey integration, um, specializing in that, in coaching individuals. And so one of the things I say is making sense of the magic. If the psychedelics open the door, psychosynthesis allows you to walk through it and then
Yes.
take it and implement that into your everyday life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
like
100%.
having this cute little toolbox we carry around, that
Exactly.
just
It's not
like,
just, yeah.
the perfect tool for the perfect opportunity, right?
Right. You're
Yeah.
not just going somewhere, off to Mexico somewhere. It doesn't have to be Mexico. And then coming back, getting straight back on email and good luck, Chuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, this is real transformative psychology and understanding and lived experience that
Right.
we're
Right.
doing.
Yes.
So if someone is going to be joining us in Topanga, what can they expect to experience this
Oh my
beautiful weekend?
goodness.
I'm so excited.
Well, this particular retreat and the one that we just finished 2 weekends ago, we actually, one of the cool things is a musician brother coming in from Peru, bringing some of the music from the Andes, bringing this gentleman actually leads kirtan in the town of Pisac for 150 to 200 people every Wednesday for, is it 4 hours or 3 hours?
4 hours.
Lots of hours, like
4 hours.
drumming and harmonium and guitar, mantra. So like the cool thing about the retreats Claudia and I work with is that it's not dogmatic in any way, shape, or fashion. It's not religious in any way, shape, or fashion, but there is divine presence, and the divine presence to whether that's Ganesha and yoga mats, or that is Buddha and sitting in stillness, or that's Christ and Christ consciousness, or Mary Magdalene, or any of these symbols, like it all present on our altar that we're holding throughout the entire experience, so that there's a embodied experiential connection with divine. That probably says enough right there. But then there's also the community
Yeah.
aspect. Yeah, the
Mhm.
community, that's first and foremost, we are there to connect with the divine within ourselves, not necessarily this thing outside, but also to see the projection of the divine from within. And then there's the community aspect, there's the wellness aspect, there's the regulating of nervous system and coming away with tools. Claudia will share more about the tools and sort of the structure there. I know you love to do that with the things we bring along. And really it's resourcing ourselves for any changes that are happening in the world, changes that are happening in our lives, changes that are happening with our age, changes that are happening with our bank account. Nothing to do with the change, everything to do with the experiential experience of that change with the parts of ourselves that are calling to be loved. So being able to learn tools to be able to hold these different parts of ourselves as our world is changing so rapidly.
Yes, beautiful. And someone who's thinking about the retreat can expect to walk into a container and be able to breathe. That's one of the things people tell us when they're in our space. It's like, oh, I can finally relax, right? I can finally just be. And throughout the weekend, we always design beautiful transformative arcs. So you'll be guided step by step through different guided meditations, different exercises, different practices, to allow the maximum potential of transformation that's available in healing in a very gentle, guided, and profound way.
Yeah.
So you can just be expected to be guided. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to do anything. All you need is an open heart and even just a little curiosity. If there's something that you haven't experienced before, that's all you need. You will take it from there. So
Yep.
You'll be guided every step by step. We get to have an opportunity to be in a beautiful property with nature, with community,
With you.
with Heather, right?
Yes. With me here in Topanga. I'm in Topanga.
Yeah.
Yep. And you'll make friends, and you'll have, again, the word profound keeps coming up because that's the word that our participants always say, just a profoundly beautiful, connected, magical, healing, fun, and all of the things we'll create together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If I had to impart anything to the attendees, I would say life lottery moment. Really, like, boom. Like, it's going to blow your mind. So.
Yeah, we're so excited that we get to go to the West Coast. So thank you for the invitation. We've planted seeds for many, many years. And we know it's coming. We didn't know when, how, but we knew it was going to happen. So we're so excited that this is the way that it's going to happen. And for us, it's just an honor.
Yeah.
It's just an honor for us to bring these teachings to the West Coast. We're touching the lives of other communities across the United States. We have a thriving community here in South Florida where we reside. We also have a tribe and a community in the Sacred Valley in Peru. And we're just growing, right? We're expanding, and we're just bringing this work to where Spirit is guiding us to go. So Topanga's next, and we would love for you to join us. Again, it's going to be amazing, and we're excited, super excited about the opportunity.
One thing I
will excited.
I'll share there, just it's coming to me as on this question, and I don't mean to jump right in there. Those who sit with us will have an opportunity to be interviewed, if you will, by Claudia and or both of ourselves, most of the time both of ourselves, because we're being able to, one of the main things, or say main, but profound aspects, is everybody who is choosing to come to sit in a circle for a weekend retreat with us is there with intention, is there with alignment, meaning in our interview process, going through a kind of a list of getting to know each other and some questions, so that when we're sitting in a room with other people for the retreat, shoulder to shoulder or mat to mat or just next to each other, there can be an understanding that there's aligned individuals, that there's something that's called, it's not just like, hey, there's this thing and it's just signing up, and there's like a country artist sitting next to a metal band, next to, somebody who's like a CEO of whatever big pharma or something. Like, there's an alignment, and those who say yes every single time end up sitting next to somebody who is saying and being in such a way that is mirroring exactly what we can't even make it up. It's not like we get in the way and like
Exactly.
curate it. It just happens by great
Yeah.
spirit. And it's amazing to observe that.
Exactly. I mean, it's like you said, divinely guided, and
Mhm. Yep.
nothing is by accident.
Right.
Exactly. Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
wonderful. Well, I am so truly blessed and grateful that our beautiful souls and lives, met when they did in
Yes.
Garrison, and it was remembrance, really, right? We're like,
Yeah.
hello,
Yeah.
there we are again. And so I'm so thrilled to have you guys come out here and looking forward to it, and
Mm.
looking forward to really, changing a lot of people's lives, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
likewise. Thank you for the opportunity, for giving us this opportunity to come again to the West Coast. We're
Yeah.
excited. And yeah, we can't wait to meet anybody who feels the call. We always trust, right, that the right people
Yep.
come together. So thank you
Absolutely.
again for this
Yes.
opportunity.
It's an amazing opportunity. And
Yeah.
and anyone who feels called, and I like to say this one phrase, the answer to how is yes, number one. It's been serving me very well. But also reach out. We're happy to have a conversation, give some more information. Some people are very analytical and want to know details and timelines and all the things. Other people are more feeling and they're like, how am I going to feel? And other people are just like, whatever, I just want to support other people in their growth. Whatever that is, it's all a yes, and
Yeah.
everyone is welcome. And there will be this perfect harmony of all these beautiful instruments of individuals that are singing this song together. So we love to co-create together. So reach out with your gifts. Yeah. And thank you,
And
Heather.
also for the link with all the details, because we can't
Yes.
put a lot of information on or social media.
Right. Yep. Yeah, we have information to share.
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful. I wish we could put this link like in the sky for everybody to see, but we can't. So
Yeah,
reach
exactly.
out.
In due time, in due time.
Yes. But
Amazing. Thank
Thank you
you.
both again so much.
Thank
Yes.
you very
Thank you
much.
for the opportunity.
Yes.
Bye.
And we'll talk soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.